It feels so good and refreshing to have you join us on another exciting, interesting, and educative segment of the program NEWSCOPE. I am Rachel Ukot. The rainy season is here again, and I hope that you are well catered because you never can tell when the heavy downpour will take place. It's either in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or late at night. Or we hope that parents also modalities have been put in place to ensure that their children are safe and well catered in the school session. On our lineup for this week's edition, we'll be looking at reports on the just concluded Father's Day. We really don't do justice to celebrating our fathers. If it has to do with the women, we do have Happy Mother's Day, International Women's Day, and all of that. But I think this year was an exceptional one for the fathers because in all the nooks and crannies of the world, the fathers were celebrated. So we will be looking at how the celebration went in Cross River State. We also have reports on World Elder Abuse Day, followed by Sexual Violence Day. All these and many more will come your way shortly. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The Obong of Calabar, Edidemopo Okonabasio the Fifth, has called on the Nigerian Navy to be more proactive in carrying out their mandate towards protecting the nation's waterways, especially the Cross River and Akwa Ibom State route. Afiong Efefiong brings us the details.
The Obong of Calabar said the palace is delighted with the visit, adding that issues concerning security remain everyone's business, emphasizing that the palace does not joke with matters regarding the safety of the domain. The Obong sued for cooperation towards ensuring that the waterways is safe for business to thrive.
It's a normal routine. The Navy commander is coming and go, so you are welcome to Calabar. And since you say you've been here before, so Calabar is not a new place for you. I pray that all that the children have seen, you look into it, because our waterways are a main problem. So really, it's affecting women and men that do fishing and buying on fishing and others come and sell to the people. That is all they live on. So please try as much as possible to make sure that the waterways free and safe for them to do the works immediately.
Earlier, the commander of the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Victory, Commando Ajomobi Oride, said their visit to the Obong and his council was to seek for collaboration in ensuring that the nation's territorial waters is safe. The Navy commander appreciated the Obong and his council for the fatherly support the Nigerian Navy has enjoyed over the years and sought for more in delivering its mandate.
We are here to serve the people of Cross River State, and we are here to support every of your move to ensure that the state is the better off. And we in the military, we are here to ensure that the security of the state is maintained. We need further collaboration from the MS part of the ship, so that we can do better.
The familiarization visit featured presentation of a plaque to the Obong of Calabar by the organization for his contribution in the maintenance of security in the state. Afiong Efefiong for CRBC News.
Still on the Obong of Calabar, Edidemopo Okonabasio the Fifth has commended the management of the University of Calabar community for making the palace their rallying point towards the growth of the institution. Edidemopo the Fifth made this known while playing host to the chairman of the 14th Governing Council and pro-chancellor of the institution, among other dignitaries. The report.
The Obong of Calabar commended the federal government for its choice of the pro-chancellor, admonishing that education should not be politicized at the helm of its affairs. He pointed out that recently the institution celebrated its 50 years anniversary, and the collaboration effort has been enormous, urging that they continue to keep faith towards improving on the standard of education to meet up with global standards.
They should try and encourage them and bring them up back to institutions, such that institutions can continue to flow very well. Please, I thank you for being here, and I pray that you hold on to the good of the university. Let the people feel the impact. Let the people feel that we should be able to enjoy what is there equally, not financially. But the key is that the admission policies, the level of education, the standard, and all what should be where it should be. Please try as much as possible to enact and then bring that university up to the standard.
The chairman and pro-chancellor of the 14 Governing Council of the University of Calabar, DIG Udo Ekpudum, retired, said the visit was to introduce himself formally to the Obong and his council as the custodian of the land. Ekpudum appreciated the Obong for the constant assistance given to the institution and solicited for more towards improving on what his predecessor achieved.
The people that is really important. When we are here in Canada to improve upon what we begin to see, the transport that will do their best, they are going to work and improve.
In the same vein, the Vice-Chancellor of University of Calabar, Professor Florence Obi, described the Obong and his council as a source of inspiration to the institution, adding that the support has been enormous since her assumption in office. The VC pledged the institution's unalloyed loyalty to the ethics tool as the administration winds down its tenure.
The Obong is our father. For 4 years plus we came on board. He has opened his doors to us. He has always been there for us as a father. He has supported us in all that we do. Our dear Father, Your Eminence, to again pledge our unalloyed loyalty to you and your stool at all times.
Afyong Efefiong, CRBC News.
Still on the Father's Day celebration, this year's Father's Day was not only celebrated in Pentecostal churches only. Some Orthodox churches were seen celebrating fathers in magnificent ways. Let's take a look.
This year's International Fatherhood Week themed Men as Vessels of Honor concluded with a Thanksgiving service held across various Orthodox churches worldwide. In Calabar, it was noted that church services not only occurred simultaneously, but also witnessed a large congregation of men adorned in distinctive uniforms, fervently praising God for His unwavering faithfulness in their lives. In their respective Orthodox churches, fathers such as Surveyor Matthew Edoko, Elder Okon Onoyom, Dr. David Isemin and Mr. Itankan Itojong expressed that the occasion was designed to honor fathers for their positive contributions to societal development.
Okay, the significance of today's event is a day set aside by the church, not only the church, even internationally, it's a day set aside to honor men, to celebrate men as leaders of the church, men as vessels of honor.
And since the men are the heads of the families, they are also pillars of the church. So the gathering here is annual remembrance of men, adult men as fathers. So we come together to remind ourselves that as fathers we have responsibilities.
Others, including Mr. Asukwo Odiong, Elder Sunday Eko, Dr. David Agbo and Prince Francis Okun, described the event as both unique and rewarding.
Father is worldwide is celebrated or celebrated the days that are set aside to celebrate men for what God has done for the life of men as the pillars of the church. That's why we are celebrating, but what to keep us alive to witness these days.
It's quite interesting and exciting for the whole world to celebrate men. Honestly, Presbyterian Church in particular, This is a program that is celebrated all over the country, alongside with other Christians worldwide.
It's a worthwhile event. You know what men are passing through. So anytime men have this opportunity of being celebrated, we feel elated, we feel happy, we feel so, and so it's a memorable program. We are always looking forward to this kind of a day like this every year.
One specific impact is the fact that men were reminded of husbands, men were reminded of their commitment towards their wives, because that is where the bedrock of the family is concerned. You need to be able to know, understand your wife, no matter. That is why God puts you in that family, so that the family can go to forge ahead and do better.
Furthermore, fathers like Dr. Ntui Anitin, Basi Akpan, Chief Ekong Mona, and Elder Ekpeme remarked that the events not only instilled a sense of belonging in them, but also motivated them to make even greater contributions towards societal growth.
We have to be vessels of honor in the sense that when we have vessels of honor, we bring glory to God Almighty, and God expects us to show this goodness unto others, our wives, our children, the church, the society. When we keep ourselves pure and free from sin and do that which the Lord has commanded us to do, as men being pillars in the church and the family, the society will grow.
And the lessons we have drawn from today's event is to always rely on God, because we have been able to raise enough to be able to cater for some projects we have at hand. And also as fathers, we have been encouraged to always live a good and exemplary life.
Mr. Solomon Francis, Chief Orok Duke, and Honorable Mercy Apama were overwhelmed with emotions as they expressed their joy.
Any house without a father is not a house. It means there is no head, there's no leadership, there's no rulership. So the whole world has set aside today to celebrate not just men, but fathers, because it is Father's Day. So we are celebrating fathers who are fathers over the women in the house, who are fathers over the children in the house, who provide for us, who take care of us. They are the gods we see in our families and in our societies.
So many fathers have neglected their responsibility. That is why you see the society today is something else. Children moving rampant and causing problems here and there because there is no this supervision and closeness to their children. So we are telling the world today, as a father, especially the father, you should take upon their responsibility, ensure that they take care of their children and do whatever is right to ensure a better society.
That men can be good vessels for honor. And how do they do that? Is by us being clean, set aside for God's use. How do we do that? We do that by trying to make ourselves available to our families, provide for our families, do all the necessary things that we are supposed to do.
For CRBC NEWSCOPE, Ifeanyi Eklita reporting.
It's never too late to say Happy Father's Day to the fathers the world over, and thank you for that report. And on to our next report before we go on a short break. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN Calabaran District Society, celebrated a significant milestone with the investiture of Mrs. Glory Tonyefeong as the 13th chairman of the society. Also, the Accountant General, her leadership is viewed as instrumental in steering the society towards achieving its goals and enhancing its impact in the region. Blessing Basi, who was there, now reports.
The 13th chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN Calabar and District Society, Dr. Mrs. Glory Tonyefeong, has been described as a reliable, pragmatic, and transparent person who is well suited for the ICAN position. The event held at the International Conference Center saw an impressive turnout of esteemed members, dignitaries, and stakeholders from the accounting profession, other organizations, reflecting the high regard in which Dr. Mrs. Glory Efeong is held within the community.
Yes.
The state's governor, Senator Obasi Otu, who was represented by the Speaker, State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Elvet Ayambem, said Dr. Glory Tony Effiong is widely recognized as a hardworking, transparent, and accountable individual, qualities that have led to her well-deserved appointment as the 13th chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Right Honorable Ayambem stressed that her dedication to excellence and integrity has earned her respect within the accounting community, noting that under her leadership, ICANN will continue to thrive and uphold the highest standards of professionalism.
It is my honor and privilege to represent His Excellency Prince Bassett Edotu, the Executive Governor of Cross River State, at this important gathering to celebrate leadership, professionalism, and service to society. Today we are here to witness the investiture of a distinguished professional, Mrs. Glory Tony Effiong, PhD, FCA, as the 13th chairman of the ICANN Calabar District Society. This event marks the beginning of a new chapter, one defined by responsibility, trust, and continuous elevation of counting standards in our states and beyond. Mrs. Effiong, who currently serves as the Accountant General of Cross River State, has long demonstrated the values that matter most: discipline, competence, and accountability.
The chairman of the occasion, Mr. Edem Duke, said Dr. Glory Effiong is committed to accountability, transparency, and professional excellence. Edem Duke further stressed that as the society moves forward, it stands poised to make significant contributions to the accounting sector and promote best practices in financial management throughout the region.
For your commitment, for being able to identify a woman like Glory Tony Effiong to spearhead this assignment as Accountant General of the Cross River State. In very many states, especially when the entire nation faces a turbulent financial crisis, dearth of funding, and the ability, to ensure that competing demands for lean resources has to be spearheaded and managed by somebody who is meticulous, somebody who is professionally accomplished, and somebody who has a right head in the right places.
The Chairman Planning Committee, who is also the Commissioner for Finance, Honorable Mike Odere, noted that the current Accountant General, Mrs. Effiong, has contributed immensely to the financial governance and management within the state and beyond. An appointment to lead ICANN Calabar and District Society highlights her outstanding professional track record and commitment to the advancement of the accounting profession. He noted that with her dedication, transparency, and accountability, she is expected to drive positive change and inspire the next generation.
She should avoid distraction that comes from criticism in a part of life, and criticism must come. But she should, in every criticism, she should be able to learn something from whatever they are saying, even if she doesn't totally agree with their views. She should learn how to listen to everyone and take something out of what everyone says, especially when it is criticized.
The 64th President and Chairman of Council, Malam Haruna Yahaya, who was represented by Dr. Adeyemi Usani, said that the Accountant General, Dr. Glory Effiong, has played pivotal roles in ensuring fiscal responsibility and transparency in the private and public financial sectors.
I see her continue with that with our executive committee members, because as a leader you need to carry your people along, cultivate the ideas, and with that you guys are able to perform and meet the objectives for which
we thank you for giving us this
so she should just continue being herself, and I pray that God Almighty will see her through and give her the wisdom needed to direct the affairs of the district during the term.
On their part, the Commissioner for Information, Dr. Erasmus Ekpan, that of Agriculture, Honorable Johnson Ibopu, Commerce Honorable Abigail Duke, Wealth Creation Honorable Patrick Egbede, said Dr. Mrs. Glory Tony Effiong's commitment to accountability and professional excellence needs to be emulated by those in the accounting sector. They prayed for God's grace and strength to pull through in the new elevation.
I want to congratulate her and encourage her to do more, because the sky is the limit. Just like our veteran Chief High Chief Edem Duke had said, he foresees a female being the national president one day. I foresee her being the national president one day, so I wish her all the best.
I cannot expect anything less. So I will say kudos to her, and may God continue to give her the strength, the wisdom to carry on, especially as it relates to the accounting profession.
God give her the needed wisdom, the enablement to carry on the responsibility that He has put on her shoulders.
She has integrity. Accountant, she's transparent. Accountant, she's accountable.
The State Director General of Geographical Information Agency, William Achibong, Professor Ayotam Young, VC Unicross, Professor Francisco Bassi, amongst others, opined that the collective hope under Mrs. Effiong's stewardship is that the society will continue to thrive and influence positive change in the profession and the wider community.
Deserving of this what I call it an appointment or an elevation in her career path. I worked with her. I'm still working with her in the Cross River State government, and she has done tremendously well as an Accountant General of Cross River State.
Her investiture today marks a turning point in her career as Accountant General of the state and as a public servant. So for me, it's a day to celebrate, to the glory of God, the elevation, and the fact that the higher responsibility has been placed upon her shoulders to discharge her duties.
Having this other responsibility to deal with professionals, fellow professionals in her career, is a good opportunity for Cross Riverians to key into the ICANN system.
I congratulate her today. I wish her well, and it's actually one of my prayers that God's willing she will stay icon to a greater height.
She should keep on trusting in her God, because that is her backbone, and she has a very strong foundation.
I think the position she's holding now, she deserves it. She very well deserves it, because she's vested with the dynamics of her work.
I wish her a successful tenure. I know she has all it takes. She has the drive, she has the passion, she has the wisdom, she has the experience, she has the exposure. She has all it takes to excel.
In her acceptance address, the 13th chairman of ICANN and the Accountant General Cross River State, Dr. Mrs. Glory Tony Effiong, laid out her vision for the society, highlighting the initiatives aimed at strengthening members' engagement. Dr. Mrs. Glory Effiong maintained that one of her core initiatives for ICANN is to foster mentorship among younger professionals and advocating for policies that support the growth of the accounting profession in the state and beyond.
A call for partnership. Colleagues, friends and stakeholders, the strength of our society lies not in eloquent speeches, but in our shared solidarity and collective action. Let us pool our wisdom, resources, and networks to bring this dream to life. Let us remind the world that ICANN accountants do not only keep records, we build futures.
The event witnessed citation, oath-taking, cultural display, amongst others. For CRBC NEWSCOPE, Blessing Bassi reporting.
Congratulations and thank you, Blessing Bassi, for that report. We will go on a short break, and when we are back, NEWSCOPE continues. Do stay with us.
This is the testament that God is good, and there is nothing Juju can do. His blood speaks better things than that of Abel. We stand gallant because our senior man is able. He who speaks to mountains and they move. And to dead dreams he says Talitha kum. We ask for mercy, but on top Calvary merciful. He who is merciful and good. This is the testament that Jehovah is always doing good. Yeah.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, has continued to record giant strides in the public space by reaffirming her commitment to protect child's rights through adequate policy implementation and effective education. This affirmation was made during the essay and public speaking competition to mark this year's International African Child's Day, organized by the NIPR. Idon brings us the details.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, has reaffirmed its commitment to protect child's rights through adequate policy implementation and effective education. The state chairman, NIPR, Comrade Benedict Okache, made the affirmation during the essay and public speaking competition to mark the 2025 Children's Day in commemoration with the International African Child Day, organized by Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Calabar. The event, which took place at the Cross River Community Hall, University of Calabar, highlights public speaking and essay writing competition, occasioned with the theme Protecting Child's Rights in Nigeria Through Adequate Policy Implementation, Public Relations Perspective. The state chairman, Comrade Benedict Okache, said, as a yearly event, 26 schools have participated in the competition, both essay writing and public speaking. He said the competition is to raise leaders, public relations, and public speakers in the society.
This year, we have tried as much as possible to ensure that we bring out the best in our students. Our level of transparency has increased, which is why today all the winners of the competition will be determined here in this hall. As we announce the winners, the certificate will be received here in this hall. So that we want to assure all those who still believe that maybe we were not transparent enough last year. This year we want to be as transparent as possible. And we believe strongly that as a chapter we are committed to continuing with this program and we will continue to do more to see how we can upgrade.
In a goodwill message, the Commissioner for Information, Dr. Erasmus Ekpang, said, protecting child's rights in Nigeria through adequate policy implementation is apt to include good and sustainable education, health, food and nutrition, security, shelter, amongst others. He emphasized that adequate policies and funding initiatives must be put in place, especially in an annual budget estimate for implementation. Dr. Erasmus Ekpang urged all to prioritize child's rights and give the necessary attention it deserves.
Of course, the program has impacted positively on the academic and professional pursuits of many students over the years. It has grown and expanded in leaps and bounds. For this 2025 edition of our competition, with the theme Protecting Child's Rights in Nigeria Through Adequate Policy Implementation, the public relations perspective is very apt and crucial. At this point in our nation's government across the globe are very concerned about protecting the rights of the young population, and different policies initiatives have been put in towards achieving these targets.
The event featured public speaking presentation by different schools with the topic Children's Right to Nutrition, Parental or Governmental Responsibility.
I'm going to present a speech on the topic Children's Right to Nutrition. Should it be parental or governmental responsibility? The right of children not only entails freedom of movement, expression, as well as the right to life, to mention but a few, but also involves the right to nutrition. But the big question is, should the parents and the government be responsible for the child's right to nutrition?
In my opinion, it should be the government's responsibility. Children's right to nutrition is the government's responsibility, but the government has a responsibility over vulnerable populations, including children who do not have the capacity to advocate for themselves.
In a world full of uncertainties, one truth remains: no one will ever care for a child like the parent does. Before government existed, before policies were written, and before programs were funded, parents were the first providers. Even today, in Nigeria and across the world.
Keynote addresses, awards, and monetary prizes. Idon CNC News.
Thank you, Idon for that report. This year's World Elder Abuse Awareness Day with the theme Addressing Abuse of Older Adults in Long-Term Care Facilities through data and actions has been marked with a call on relevant authorities to implement policies that will cater for the aged. The report.
This year's World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, with the theme Addressing Abuse of Older Adults in Long-Term Care Facilities Through Data and Actions, has been marked with a call on the relevant authorities to implement policies that will cater for the aged. Commenting on the day, some caregivers said despite increased awareness, many states still lack reliable data and continue to create high-risk conditions for abuse to the older adults in the society.
The old people used to be rejected because of the mentality of the people here. Because they think that it is very good for somebody to die at the age of 40, 85. When you are up to 80, 90, they will say, oh, this man is a witch, this woman or man is a witch or a witch sat. So because of that, they will not like to come closer to you. Anything they did, they don't want you to be involved, because they think that you will kill them at any time. That is the reason in this area that the young people used to sideline or hate the old people.
Others who also bared their mind on the day stressed the need for the relevant authorities to ensure that today, through the 2025 theme, focuses on the provisions of a long-term facility to address the need of the older adults in the society.
To give them good education and give them good right information that the elders people will not be indicated. Then also be making them to move in the way of the Bible, that the parents are the respectful people. They have to be respectful people, that they being the elders people.
I believe that one should make that provision for himself or herself. I'm not waiting or living life aimlessly. Life should not be lived aimlessly.
Some academic scholars say that records have shown that aging, which affects how older adults think, feel, and act towards others, has negative consequences on their health and well-being. They explain that population aging is poised to become one of the most significant social transformations for nearly all sectors of society, including labor and financial market.
So the leadership of those communities should be able to talk to the upcoming one, having a regular meeting, educating them, and also even calling a clergy to speak to them or concerning area of forgiveness if they were hurt in one way or the other. And in terms of branding them witchcraft, I think the church has a very vital role to play. In other words, should discourage that, because there is no witch that could overcome a very strong Christians, and we should also encourage people to preach peace and encourage them to take care of the aged.
The aged, they are supposed to be taken care of, because everybody will get old someday. And then, but this conception of the old people being witches and wizards is a common thing everywhere. But I don't see how a man will become old. He didn't kill a child at infancy. The man is now old and will try to bewitch a child when it's at old age. I don't think so. I would advise everybody to actually take care of the elderly people. At this time, they need our help, because one day we'll all get old.
For their part, some clerics say safeguarding the rights, dignity of older adults is of utmost importance and called for urgent intervention for the aged.
So people need to be re-educated. People need to be educated and let them relearn what they have been learned, that the elderly ones are evil and a threat to their destiny. And again, the government as well should make provision to encourage the women, the elderly. Most of them have no children. Most of them, their children are not working. So I believe if the government make up a program to employ young people or children of the aged, or bring a program that will help the aged to take care of them, it will also relieve the suffering that the elderly ones are going through in the society.
Very most importantly, I want to ask the government to come up with a social service ministry. A social service ministry that will take care of the aged and most importantly, the pensioners. I think that's step number one. Then step number two, we have to draw that consciousness, especially among the youths, and that the youth should be able to sow seeds of life into the life of the aged, because tomorrow also they will also be called the aged.
They should take care of the agents and see them as a human being, and those fear of God be in them also.
To educate people, as our digital governor trying to do, is help people to go to farm, give people opportunity, maybe empower people and give them small money to win outside and try their best so that as the long run we can maybe know what to do.
Commenting on the Older Adults Bill that has just been passed into law by Governor Basi Otu, a lawmaker and the lead sponsor of the bill, Honorable Mercy Akpama, said the law was in line with the People First mantra of the present administration. For CRBC NEWSCOPE, Efiowan Ekbe-Ita reporting.
Thank you for that report. Still on International Day celebrations. International Day of Yoga is celebrated on June 21st, a date that recognizes the numerous physical, mental, and emotional benefit of practicing yoga. Blessing Basi reports that the aim of the observance is to promote the ancient Indian practice of yoga as a holistic approach to health. The report.
The 11th International Day of Yoga on June 21st, with the theme Yoga for One Earth, One Health, emphasizes the connection between well-being and the health of our planet. Yoga, which originated in India, is said to be a holistic practice that integrates the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of life. The term yoga comes from Sanskrit, meaning to unite, highlighting the connection between our bodies and consciousness.
Why yoga is accepted today is not due to some huge international scientific studies, because one person after the other discovered the benefit, and then there's like a threshold that was overcome and people say, yes, yoga is good. Yoga works through muscle work back to the nerves, to mind control, back into the body on all the organs. You can, through stress relief techniques of yoga, relaxation techniques, breathing, the postures, you really get a grip on your body.
Research also shows that yoga has grown immensely popular around the globe and even gained recognition on a broader scale when the United Nations proclaimed June 21st as the International Day of Yoga back in 2014. The United Director General Antonio Guterres noted that practicing yoga not only strengthens the body and calms the mind, but also encourages everyone to be more mindful and responsible in their daily life.
For whom it is a source of strength, harmony, and peace. In a dangerous and divided world, the benefits of this ancient practice are particularly precious. Yoga offers a haven of calm. It can reduce anxiety and promote mental well-being. It helps us to develop discipline and patience. It connects us to our planet, which so badly needs our protection. And it reveals our common humanity, helping us to understand that despite our differences, we are one. On this International Day of Yoga, let us embrace the spirit of unity and resolve to build a better, more harmonious world for people, planet, and ourselves.
The initiative proposed by India aims to increase awareness of yoga's numerous health benefits, which include promoting healthier lifestyles and reducing risks of various non-communicable diseases. Report has it that yoga goes beyond just physical movement, as it encourages balance and mindfulness in our everyday lives. to speak with some cross-riverians on why the practice yoga prove abortive. However, the narrative is, as we embrace this opportunity to practice yoga, let's remember its profound impact on our health and the environment, nurturing both ourselves and our planet. For CRBC NEWSCOPE, Blessing Bassi reporting.
Thank you, Blessing Bassi, for that report. And on to our last report for the segment. Among the list of fast foods, we don't give credit to spaghetti, also known as pasta. While some persons are of the view that rather than prepare pasta, they would rather prepare meals that will be filling to them. Others delved into the various methods in the preparation of the meal called pasta, spaghetti. The report.
Also known as pasta, is a long thin solid cylindrical pasta. It is a staple food of traditional Italian cuisine. Like other pastas, spaghetti is made of milk, wheat, water, and sometimes enriched with vitamins and minerals. Originally, spaghetti was notably long but shorter lengths gained in popularity during the later half of the 20th century, and now it's most commonly available in 25 to 30 cm lengths. A variety of pasta dishes are based on it, and it is frequently served with tomato sauce, meat, or vegetables. Spaghetti remains a staple food in some households, but how it is prepared varies widely.
I like parboiling it first, then I'll make my sauce and add my spag, my already parboiled spag in the sauce. Then allow it to get done, maybe around 20 to 30 minutes to get done. Then I'll garnish with like veggies, carrots, and green beans. And also I like baking it with egg. Like I'll just find the protein. Egg is better, then maybe serve with stew. Depending if I have money, I'll serve with stew, Hollandia, or
in separate interviews, some lovers of the mouth-watering cuisine highlighted their preferred methods in preparing spaghetti with a slight bite, while 87% preferred theirs to be soft. In contrast, 29% of citizens delved into their various methods in the preparation of their pasta, with many citing comfort food and easier digestion as their reasons. Meanwhile, some of the citizens see spaghetti cooked slightly firmer than even often stir-fried with fish and sauce or local ingredients.
Spaghetti is not hard to cook. As a man, I don't like things that stresses me up. It's simple to cook. It doesn't waste time. It doesn't take time. It doesn't take much time. Not like preparing soup and all those kind of stuff.
Interestingly, people also find alternative methods of cooking their spaghetti pasta. Sometimes spaghetti lovers use one-pot methods, boiling the pasta directly in sauce to save time and enhance flavor. Some like it baked feta pasta and instant pot spaghetti are driving this shift among Gen Z cooks. Sauce steaming also proved divisive. 55% of people mix their sauce into the pasta before serving, while 45% prefer it spooned on top.
I love spaghetti. I cook spaghetti constantly because it's fast food and easy to prepare. Just like my Indomie and other things. It's not as hard as maybe jollof rice or rice or stew or other things. It's just very easy and simple to cook.
After you buy it, you bake it. After baking it, parboil it. After you parboil it, you put the oil inside fire and fry it and prepare everything, put inside. And within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I don't cook it and you start dish it and play it that way and cook it as a meal.
Where we agree to disagree, as this staple food has gained more popularity even in most fast food joints, some were of the opinion that no matter how spicy the meal is, they rather go for their conventional rice, curry, yam, beans among the dishes.
It's not as if I don't like the food. I like the food, but for one reason, I cannot prepare it on my own because the food doesn't last in the stomach. Yeah, so I cannot come and cook something that I will eat now and then after 5 minutes I will complain. But it's a nice food, but I don't like spaghetti. Thank you.
One thing is certain, spaghetti is more than just a meal. It is a cultural touch point, a family tradition, and for some, a source of passionate debate. However you like your pasta, just remember, don't forget the salt in the water. Chibuzo Paul, reporting for CRBC NEWSCOPE.
Thank you, Chibuzo, for that report. That's the much we can take for today. Do keep a date with us next week and you won't regret it. On behalf of the production team and our producer, Udwak Ikang Obeten, I remain your presenter, Rachel Ukut. For security reasons, if you see something, say something. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.